Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking out the Tier 9 Japanese destroyer, the Kagero. And yes, I finally got the Kagero, and I honestly haven't played her way too much. Um, Basically, it comes down to, do I really want to spend the time and effort into the Kagero, and then say if World of Warships or Wargaming, for that matter, just automatically gives me the new Tier 9, which I'm really hoping they do. But if they do, I don't want, spend the time and effort upgrading the ship and then, you know, I don't get the tier, or I get the Tier 9, I don't have to worry about it. But we'll go, I will probably be working on her. So she does have does not have any upgrades to her. So this is a stock hull, stock Kagero. Still very fun to play with. It's a Japanese destroyer, so it's always fun and can be frustrating. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the survivability. You start off with 13,300. Artillery, you have 3 main guns, 2 guns each. It's very similar to how the Fubuki is. They're 127 millimeters. Range is 10.3 due to the fact that my captain has advanced firing training, so that gives me that additional range. And fire chance is 9%, so it's not bad. Reload time is 8.1 seconds, and turn time on the guns are 30 seconds, so they are battleship slow, but that's usual for Japanese destroyers. Now come down to the torpedoes. Torpedoes are kind of a disappointment coming from the Fubuki. You lose 1 torpedo, and you go from a 3-set torpedo system to a 2-set. So one has 4 torpedoes each. So kind of a disappointment. Speed on the torpedoes are 67 knots. So the Fubuki's torpedoes when it's stock is 62 knots. So once you get the upgrade, at least what I had, it goes up to 67. So the Kagero starts off with 67 knots, which is very similar to what a fully upgraded Fubuki has. But if you upgrade the torpedoes, probably what I'll be doing is keeping either the same range. I probably won't be doing the 20 kilometers. I think that's just ridiculous. Or you can get the 8-kilometer torpedoes, which is kind of scary, honestly. But I'll get to as to how that's actually usable. But a lot of people probably will know already from if you ever played with Japanese destroyers. And you get 8-kilometer range, but you get 76 knots, so extremely fast. Let's see, I'm actually kind of curious how fast the Shimikaze is. Shimikaze can get up to 76 knots, so those are probably one of the fastest torpedoes in the game, if not the fastest. So it can get up to Shimikaze speed torpedoes if you go for that 8-kilometer range. If you don't, you can stay at the 10 kilometers. I haven't decided. I'll probably go try out the 8 kilometers, go for the speed. But once again, it just comes down to you have 2 sets instead of 3, so you are very, I don't want to say limited, but you're kind of limited to where your torpedoes are going. Because with the Fubuki, you could actually send 3 sets of torpedoes out towards maybe 3 different enemies. Here you can do 2 sets of torpedoes against 2 enemies. Not like that's always going to happen, but that's the case. Now damage wise, they're pretty good. 20,967, and once you get it upgraded, if you went for the 8-kilometer torpedoes, you can get it jumps up to 21,367 points of damage. So not bad. Not that much more, but not bad all the same. Easily probably could take out a full health Yamato, or bring it down to very low health. So those are the torpedoes. AA defense, it's a destroyer, and it's a Japanese destroyer, so it's nothing really to talk about. Speed, max speed is 35 knots. You still are stuck with that 35 knots until you get to the Shimikaze, which actually has, I believe, a 39 knot speed. Something like that. Turning circle radius is 640 meters. And this captain does have, or not, sorry. The ship does have the, no, I actually went for the propulsion modification. I forgot I did that. So you could probably at least bring the rotor shift time down a little bit quicker, so you're a little bit easier to dodge around if you need to, but rudder shift time is 4 seconds, so not bad. It's fairly quick on its feet. I just really don't dislike, or really dislike, the lack of speed, because you go from the Minakaze, which has 39 knots, and then you go to the Mutsuki, the Hatsuharu, and then the Fubuki and Kagero, and they all have around 35 knots. And it's kind of a disappointment. You don't have that really quick speed Japanese destroyer that you experienced when you had the Minakaze. So concealment is phenomenal. It's a little bit better than the Fubuki. 5.4 versus the 5.5 that my Fubuki had. This is due to the fact of camouflage, the module, and the captain skill all reduces my detection, and that's why it's all the way down. So very nice, fantastic. That's why the 8-kilometer torpedoes can work really well for you. But other than that, that's a quick look at her stats. Let's go ahead and take her into battle and see how she goes. I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to a replay with the Kagero, and this is actually the very first game I had with the Kagero, and it starts off really well, I will have to say. So we are playing on Land of Fire. We have a Saipan, Iowa, 2 North Carolinas, Gneisenau, Nagato, Chapayev, Pensacola, Miyoko, Kagero, Akazuki. Oh my word, there was actually Akazuki in this game. I did not realize until now. Hatsuharu, and on the enemy team there's a Ranger, Iowa, Bismarck, Amagi, Colorado, Gneisenau, Hipper, Miyoko, Stores, Kagero, Fubuki, and a Hatsuharu. So, very first game, and I don't know, I feel like I'm a little bit disappointed going from the Fubuki, going from that 3 sets of torpedoes to the 2 sets, but we'll see how the game goes. Now, I am actually trying to see if I can find the Akazuki, because I'm kind of curious where it is. I think the ship's way over there, but that's not what we're focused on. We are focused on the Kagero. Now, one little side note is, if you ever play this map, and if you spawn on the far left-hand side of the map, you are probably going to be screwed if your team decides to go to the right. As you will see, this Amagi spawned on the far left-hand side, and in order for him to get over to, say, his base or his team, he has to completely either go north of this island that I'm actually currently looking at, or go south and try to go between those islands. Now, going south is a little bit safer and won't be more than likely fired at or have torpedoes shot at. But going north allows you to actually fire back and help your team while also still getting over to help your team out. Now, this Amagi captain does decide to go north, and unfortunately for him, I do feel rather bit bad about this, but unfortunately for him, this is not going to end very well. I will say this. So we are lining up our shots. Do you have to keep in mind, since we do have only 2 sets, we should not fire all at the same lane. Now, I did fire one directly at the line and one a little bit ahead, just in case he is coming out of a turn and is actually starting to speed up. But I think these torpedoes are going to be looking pretty good. Let's see. Let's follow them in real quick. And I feel bad because I love the Amagi. I love this ship. The Amagi is a fantastic ship. But unfortunately for him, he was just in the wrong place, spawned at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it is essentially going to be, yep, devastating strike. I feel bad. Now, he's not going to be particularly happy about this. As you can see, one of our teammates is basically saying, "Rip Amagi." Now, in a little bit, he's gonna, gonna start complaining. I mean, I feel bad. I do apologize. I'm like, sorry. I feel bad, but at the same time, it's MMO, so we do have to fight. And unfortunately for him, he was just the first target I saw, and probably the easiest. Now, the Kagero's torpedo systems, reload at, I believe, over a minute. Yeah, let me see. Actually, I don't think I can look. I believe they're a minute and 30. Now, you can get a module that increases the reload time by 15%, but it also increases the incapacitation of the turrets by 50%. So, kind of a drawback. I mean, it's beneficial to a point. But at the exact same time, do you really want the possibility of losing your torpedoes, which will almost always reset the torpedoes for reloading? Now, just there, we did get spotted by the Gneisenau's aircraft, so that did alert him to our presence. Due to the fact that when I first got the Kagero, I did not turn off the AA guns, and so my AA lit up and essentially gave away my presence. Now, our carrier does have some fighter crafts coming in, and we're going to try to help him out as best as possible. Might as well. We are detected. And I know the guns on the Kagero are not the greatest, but every little bit does help. We want to try to help our carrier as much as possible. Now, I don't think our team's doing a fantastic job. The enemy team has lost 5 ships, and we've yet to lose one. And I really am curious where the Akazuki is. Where is he? He's way over there. Here, let's. I'm sorry. I'm kind of curious because this is one thing that's going to be happening here soon. There is the Akazuki, and hopefully, the Akazuki. Actually, I'm trying to remember which tier it is. It is a tier 8, so it's going to be replacing the Fubuki. Now, I don't remember if that's going to be the gunboat Japanese destroyer or if it's just going to be a regular Japanese destroyer that you usually see. Now, we do have a Bismarck 5.5 kilometers away, but the Bismarck does have hydroacoustics, and that means we are detected, so we are going to try to escape here as much as possible. Now, as I kind of pointed out before, the Amagi captain was not very happy with him dying very early, but he's actually not blaming us. He's blaming the next best thing. He's blaming his team. He is very dissatisfied with his team, and we do take out the Bismarck with our back guns set of fire. So there's that. Good, we took out another tier 8, and so we're doing really well. Now there is a Iowa. Be nice to hit him with our torpedoes, but he's at the moment outside our range, so we might as well try to get in range. And I think we actually finally lost a ship. We lost a battleship. I believe we lost our North Carolina, who did 2 kills in essentially a tier 9 match if you count the battleships and destroyers. So not bad for tier 8. North Carolina is still a fantastic ship. Now, this Iowa captain is going off alone, and I mean, granted, I don't really understand why he is running away like he is. He should be more kind of bow in, fighting the team. Maybe he's concerned about losing his ship, because losing a tier 9 and even tier 10 gets pretty expensive, especially if you don't do a lot of damage. But it comes down to, you should have done a lot more damage since you're a heavy ship. Now, we're going to try to get close, and remember, the Kagero's detection is 5.4. So that means I can get easily within 6 kilometers and fire torpedoes without being detected. And I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. Went ahead, fired both spread of torpedoes, and there is the enemy Kagero, and he does spot us, so we're going to start turning away. We don't want to show broadside to the enemy Iowa, and it looks like his secondaries are definitely going off. But fortunately, we are not going to be detected any much longer, because Kagero decided to pop smoke. But I think those torpedoes are looking really well. Let's see, how many torpedoes do we need? Looks like 2. Took out the enemy Iowa. Very good. And now there is the Kagero, and I believe it's not the Saipan, it's the Ranger that's left on the enemy team. And we know where the Kagero is because he popped smoke and is in current hiding in that smoke. So let's see if we can get rid of this enemy Kagero. Now, Japanese guns are fantastic. They're slow, yes, that's the only issue with them, but they are fairly potent, and they have fairly good speed on the velocity of the shells. I think it's like 960 meters per second. Something tells me that's right. Now we are detected, and there's the enemy Kagero. Let's open fire and see if we can take him out. See? 3,500 for 5 shells. Not bad. And I really feel bad for this Kagero because he was just got into a very bad position and is now going to be hounded by pretty much almost all our team. Now the Kagero does open fire at me, does set us alight, but I don't think he's going to be around for very much longer. Now he switches his attention to the enemy Iowa. Can we finish off this Kagero and get the kill? So close, 712, and the friendly Iowa takes him out. So our team earned a victory, and we earned 267,297 silver, 3,144 XP, and 158 free XP with a devastating strike. We did 94,417 damage, 20 shell hits, 8 torpedoes, 4 incapacitation, 3 kills, 2 fires, and 6 flooding. And experience-wise, we got third on the team with 1,000 base XP of 1,397. And you can see the damage wise, we did almost 62,000 to that enemy Amagi and about 24,000 to the Iowa, and only did about 3,000 to the Bismarck. Yeah, we didn't do a lot of damage to the Bismarck even though we got the kill, but we finished him off, and that helps the team. So after everything is said and done, we only got back 48,557. And this is why I was saying Tier 9 can become fairly expensive, especially if you use the premium consumables, which really starts to eat up your money. Now, we'll see what Wargaming will do. I will probably be working on the Kagero, might as well. Get maybe some income, maybe some more experience, maybe free experience even, but we'll see what Wargaming decides and what will happen in the future. But for now, we'll keep working on the Kagero. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is gonna be it for this video. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.